Almost a year ago, I made a video covering the fact that Don't Hug Me I'm Scared teased a series, but it hadn't been heard about since, really. I mean, it premiered at Sundance, but nothing had been said about it since then. But there is news, big news. There is a series. Let's talk about what we know about it. Just like just about everything else in the world of Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, the information is scarce. But what is known is that it will air on Channel 4 in the UK, and no international broadcasters or whatever have been announced as such. This comes after the announcement from the British Film Institute that it would be funding the series. A release date is unknown as of yet. Becky, Joseph and Terry are confirmed as writers, as they were for the series on YouTube. But outside of that, nothing else is known. But it does fill in some blanks from my previous video, or at least potentially answers some of the questions I had and maybe you had. Mainly surrounding Sundance and the silence. It would be reasonable to conclude that the Sundance premiere was to try and get picked up by a network by pitching it to an audience, and Sundance is a film festival, so the amount of directors or television people or whatever is pretty high, I assume. I mean, everyone there is generally a star or a film critic or someone from a network or whatever. And I would say that no one wanted to fund it. Although in saying this, there was a bunch of companies involved in its production. But maybe Super Deluxe going out of business wasn't helpful, and they got the extra funding that Super Deluxe was initially going to put in. In saying this, Super Deluxe are seen at the end of the Wakey Wakey video, but they have now gone bust. They no longer exist. So maybe the British Film Institute kind of filled in what Super Deluxe were putting into that. But then again, it would be a bit difficult to kind of think that they would have all these people behind one episode. I will say though that I know nothing about that kind of thing, and it's purely speculation on my end. I don't think though that without funding from the British Film Institute, it wouldn't have a series being made. Maybe the BFI funding was so that they could get on TV, and maybe it was already kind of sorted. Who knows? I said that this was going to answer questions, but now I have a lot more than I started with. If you're wondering about how Sundance pilots work, a prime example is Poppy's pilot. Poppy as in the YouTuber that I make videos about. It had one episode and no more. I think until the BFI funding was announced for Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, it was going to suffer the same fate. Although the Poppy episode was released on YouTube by YouTube, but it looked like this, if there was no series, was never going to see the light of day. Although I think if they wanted to crowdfund it, they could have, but they definitely have more at their disposal getting funded by the British Film Institute. And being broadcast on Channel 4 means that there is more likelihood of there being more than one series. If it all goes well, that is. And I would say stuff about international broadcasts, but if they were going to crowdfund it and release it on YouTube, it would be probably wider broadcasts by YouTube than it would being shown on Channel 4 or done by Channel 4. So, yeah. This isn't the first time that Channel 4 has taken YouTube creations to TV though. They produced a sitcom with the band The Midnight Beast for their sister channel E4. And that ran for 2 seasons. They've probably done more, but that's just something that I knew about that I wanted to chuck in as a little tidbit, because I think it's important to note that this isn't like new for Channel 4 in England to do. It'll be interesting to see if there's more information comes out shortly after this video, because shortly after my video, my last video nearly a year ago, there was more information. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly this becomes outdated. But it's a good thing, because it A means I can make a third video, and B, it gives fans more stuff, really. But yeah, if you have questions, I don't know everything, but I'm more than happy to talk in the comments of the video. I have seen all the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, and I've done a smidge of research, so I do know a thing or two, but I don't know everything. I just know kind of what's out there, and I think I've retained some of it. But if you do enjoy the video, leave a like. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if no one misses an upload, and I shall see you soon for more content. Peace.